Hey, for my final presentation, I chose John 11, The Raising of Lazarus. I titled it Jesus, Lazarus, and the Power of Life. This chapter tells the story of Jesus' close friend Lazarus getting sick and dying, and Jesus showing up days later and raising him from the dead. But honestly, it's about a lot more than just a miracle. It's really about who Jesus claimed to be. So the chapter breaks down into three parts for me. It starts with the problem. Lazarus is sick. His sisters, Mary and Martha, send word to Jesus, basically saying, the one you love is dying. And Jesus doesn't come right away. He actually waits 2 more days. That's the tension the whole chapter is built on. In the middle, Jesus finally heads to Bethany. By the time he arrives, Lazarus has already been dead for 4 days. He has this really raw emotional conversations with Martha and then Mary. Martha even says, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And then there's a famous moment, Jesus weeps. And then in the end, Jesus goes to the tomb, tells them to roll the stone away, and calls Lazarus out. And he actually comes out, still wrapped into his grave clothes. It is huge, a public display of power, and it ends up being the final straw that pushes the religious leaders to start plotting to kill Jesus. There are a lot of people in this chapter, but I want to focus on Martha and Jesus. Martha is important because when Jesus finally arrives, she's the one who runs out to meet him, kind of half greeting and half confronting him. But right in the middle of the pain, she makes this huge statement of faith. She says that she believes he's the Messiah, the Son of God, even before she's seeing anything happen. That's real faith, in the middle of the grief, not after it. Now, obviously, Jesus is central, not just performing a miracle, but revealing something about himself. Right before he raises Lazarus, he says, I'm the resurrection and the life, not just about this one moment. That's a claim about who he is, period. This is a part that stood out to me the most. First, this chapter reveals Jesus' authority over death itself. Doesn't just heal sickness here. He reverses death, which no one else in the history could do. That's a claim to power that only God has. Second, it reveals his compassion. Even though Jesus knows he's about to raise Lazarus, even though he knows it's the ending, he still weeps for Mary, with Mary and others. I think that's huge. It shows that Jesus doesn't just fix pain from a distance. He enters into it with people. God's power and God's compassion aren't in competition here. They are both fully present at the same time. And third, I think it's about faith being tested and stretched, not just rewarded. Martha and Mary both believe in Jesus, but their faith gets pushed into a place where it doesn't make sense yet. Jesus meets them right there, the confusion, before he does anything visible. The question I kept coming back is, if Jesus loved Lazarus and his sisters, why did he intentionally wait 2 extra days, knowing that meant Lazarus would die? He could have prevented all that grief, and he chose not to. I think that question matters to me because it's really a question about waiting, about time when God seems late or silent in our lives. This chapter doesn't fully explain why, but it does show that Jesus' delay wasn't distance or indifference. He still showed up, he still wept, he still acted. That doesn't answer why, but it does make me trust the character behind the timing a little more. Bye.